Your organization been asking the same question? Why does our leadership training fail? Why do we need to hire leadership consultants? What is it that's not working? I'm Eric with Leadership Developed, and today we're going to talk about why your leadership training programs fail and what to do about it. You see, it isn't you. You have the best intent. You are trying to create growth. You are trying to create a better culture. You're trying to have your leadership team embody those things that leaders are, which is they provide hope. They create conditions to be successful. They allocate resources to help your organization be successful. And they provide a culture of trust. Nobody can agree on what leadership is, and here's why. If you're looking at Amazon's catalog, you would see that there are over 60,000 titles that are devoted to just the topic of leadership. That's a lot of books. But then if you study leadership itself, you will find that there's over 200 different definitions of the word leadership. The problem is nobody can agree on what leadership is. Everyone has their take on it. I admit I have my take on it, but as a growing leader, I have learned to adjust how I perceive it. Because a successful leader has a leadership style that falls in one of 6 categories, but the most important category that they need to have is that their leadership style is dynamic. You see, it's not one size fits all. Because we do not agree on what leadership is, we don't train to it. Let's take leadership, which is for the people, and management, which is for the corporations, for your boss, the people that hired you, that put you in position. Some people believe that leadership is a subset of management. Others believe that leadership and management are the same. But what if I told you that leadership and management are complementary? With leadership being the soft skills, such as building a culture of trust, teaching others to be better, giving them opportunity to grow, creating the conditions for them to succeed, giving them a culture of trust, protecting them from outside stresses that hinder them from being successful. Now, management is getting the results, hiring the right people, allocating resources to the right locations, making the bosses happy. You can be a great manager without leadership skills. The second problem with leadership training is the intended audience that leadership development is made for are the people that don't believe they need it. This is what I mean. I get brought into an organization. I sit down with them with their workbooks, and we start talking about, what they feel is leadership. Define to me what you think is leadership. I have gotten many reviews and saying, what does this have to do with me? I had great examples. I'm doing fine, and I don't need this. Yes, these are the people that who would walk out of my presentations because they think they know it already. You know the problem is? Their people are too scared to tell their boss that he or she has no leadership skills. Why? Because of the backlash, because of the repercussions. If you want a successful leadership team, it takes you on top to reach past your leadership team and ask the hard questions. Hey, I need an honest opinion. No repercussions, no name calling, nobody getting pointed out. What is the situation with so-and-so? You have to have that frank conversation. You see, leadership without feedback is just a waste of time. It doesn't exist. Leadership doesn't exist without feedback. It's not even leadership. How do you know you're a leader? Because of the feedback. How do you call yourself a leader? You can't. Without the feedback, you can't call yourself a leader. It's important for you to understand that leadership is not about you. And yet, no, you don't know it all. I don't know it all. I'm not the smartest guy in the room when I do a presentation. Why? Because I'm learning from your experiences. When I sit in there with that audience, they tell me about their pain points. They tell me about their challenges that they face, these leadership challenges that they have to deal with, that I can empathize with. I might even have to sympathize with because I might have gone through it myself. But the most important thing is I learned something from their experience. I learned something about a challenge and how we can't be just doctrinal. We can't just be academic about it. We have to put the human quality to it. And a growing leader understands that they're always learning, they're always growing. I'm a growing leader. I'm always growing, I'm always learning. But I want to teach you what I have learned. And that's why I do what I do. It's not because I have all the answers, because I have a network of people that have answers. And I like to reach out to them. I like to share my network with you and teach you how to be a better leader, how to be a better boss. How about a boss that people like? People want to work for. People want to be part of your organization because you are a great person. That is all what people want. You give them the identity, you give them purpose, and you help them grow. They will follow you. But you got to train your executives. You have to train your managers. You have to train your supervisors how to be an effective leader and not to be just a boss. The most important thing that you have to understand is if you want to be a leader in which people will trust you, rely on you, come back to you after your time together is gone. Trust me, that's the greatest reward about being a leader. Is getting that phone call, getting that email, getting that text message from somebody that used to be with you way back several jobs ago, or way back several corporations or organizations ago, in which they go, hey, I remember we had this situation, and you gave us the opportunity to do it this way. And I was able to recreate those conditions to make my team successful this week. Those are great moments. Those are great moments of leadership, and that's why we want to be leaders. If you look at this chart, this is a management hierarchy. But on this chart, this is what I call a leadership chart. Notice, the people that are out front, the people that are doing the jobs themselves, those are the people we put on top of the hierarchy. Everyone else is there to help them be successful at their jobs. Leadership's not hard, it's just being a good person. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about creating the workspace. It's about creating the environment for them to be successful, for them to compete, for them to trust, not just you, but each other. There's a lot of things that can go right with leadership. Leadership training begins with what we believe in. If you missed last week's video, check it out right here. It's what I learned from Lou Holtz about leadership. It's one of my first leadership lessons I got outside the Marine Corps while in the Marine Corps. We will talk to you again next week.